Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Jared Thomas, and it's time to go above the note with my first segment of the album review series. And what better way to jump it off by me introducing my top 10 albums of 2022. Let's go. Starting off the countdown at number 10 is our girl Big Lotto. I was really surprised by this album. I honestly didn't know what to expect, but she had huge single Big Energy featuring Mariah Carey. It ruled the summer. It topped the pop charts, and she even had a female anthem, It's Given, for the ladies. And cohesive, the album was just seamless, and it was just full of fun, radio-friendly albums. Coming in at number 9, Smino with Love for Rent. Smino is a pretty dope artist. He reminds me of the Dungeon Family, CeeLo Green vibe. His tracks are pretty soulful, R&B, funky, and I love the syncopated rhythms and melodies that he has on the album. One of my favorite songs on the album is Pudgy featuring Lil Uzi Vert. Again, just funk, soul all throughout the track, and overall just a very cohesive album. So I just want to highlight him at number 9. Coming in at number 8, Steve Lacy with Gemini Rights. Most of you guys found out about Steve Lacy when he was part of the R&B alternative group called The Internet. He was the guitarist for them, and he produced a lot of their tracks. He's now debuted his debut album, Gemini Rights, and it was a pretty dope album. Vocally, you can tell he's not much of a vocalist, but you can tell he's definitely a musician and a great producer. The tracks are filled with various genres from R&B, hip-hop, alternative, rock, jazz. Like one of my favorite songs, Mercury, on the album, had like a Latino jazz funk vibe to it, and I really enjoyed it. Cohesively, and from an inspiration standpoint, you can tell that he's influenced by Prince and Andre 3000. But definitely give it a listen. Steve Lacy, Gemini Rights. Coming in at number 7, Ari Lennox with Age, Sex, Location. This was really a strong, solid R&B album. And I was really surprised that it didn't get more buzz than it did. I really enjoyed how it started off with POF. She sort of gave an homage to Erykah Badu, so that sort of set the tone for the overall vibe and mood of the album. I really enjoyed it. Some of my favorite songs from the album is Waste My Time and Queen Space featuring Summer Walker. But overall, just the album was really cohesive. Just again, a solid R&B album, and it definitely earns a spot in my top 10. Coming in at number 6, Taylor Swift's Midnight. When it comes to Taylor Swift, it's all about the songwriting. One thing I really appreciate about her is when she sings her lyrics, you can see the story as she sings them. And same is true for this album, Midnight. It had a darker vibe, a different vibe than normal. She did have pop elements, but it was a darker vibe, heavier bass lines, and just great storytelling. A few of my favorite songs from the project, Vigilant Ship and Midnight Rain, again, a darker vibe, heavy bass lines, and Vigilant Ship was really simple. It was just drums and just a dark vibe. So I applaud her for just taking a different approach to this album, and like normal, her songwriting and storytelling was just A1. But coming in strong, number 6, Taylor Swift, Midnight. Coming in strong at number 5, Nas with King Disease 3. This was such a classic, just nostalgic album from top to finish. He collaborated with producer Hit Boy, so it gave that timeless flow that Nas has with that current production from Hit Boy, so it was just a perfect mesh. Some of my favorite singles from the album was 30, had just a stadium full sound to it. Another one was Recession Proof, and it had like a funk jazz kind of vibe, 70s vibe to it as well. Overall, cohesive project, great production, and just a sense of nostalgia from Nas. Coming in strong again, number 5, Nas, King Disease 3. Coming in hot at number 4, the queen herself, Beyonce with Renaissance. And let me just be transparent. It took me a minute to warm up to this album. I really didn't like it initially, but I had to really understood her intent. You know, Beyonce's a Virgo, so there's an intent over all the music that she does. There's a story behind it. And after I did some research and really digest the album, this album was paying homage to her late Uncle Johnny, who put her onto the 90s house scene, music scene. So after I was able to understand the why, it made everything else made sense. I still don't think Break My Soul should have been the leading single, but cohesively as an album, it was a really good project. Some of my favorite songs from the album, Cuff It is number one. It's a good feel song, something you would hear at like summertime, during the summertime or at a barbecue. And Plastic Off the Sofa is another one of my favorites. Her vocal performance was amazing, and just overall great project. Coming in at number 3, Chris Brown with Breezy. Again, another solid R&B album, and I really appreciate this album because Chris Brown did a good job of paying homage to old school R&B artists. There's a single called Harder. He paid homage to the D'Angelo's How Does It Feel? And there's another single he has out, Warm Embrace. It's always amazing when current artists pay homage to the old school artists, so I really appreciate that. So again, coming in strong at number 3, Chris Brown with Breezy. Coming in at number 2, Kendrick Lamar with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Now this album was just a creative, amazing body of work, very conceptual. I know a lot of people couldn't really digest it, but one thing about Kendrick Lamar, his visuals kind of help complement what he's trying to say. So if you have a chance, go and check out his his concert special on, I believe on Amazon Prime, and it really will connect to the music. And coming in at number 1, numero uno, is SZA with SOS. What an amazing, just from so many layers, from songwriting, just from genre bending. That's one thing I love about SZA. Like, she is an R&B girl, but as a song, you can tell the songwriter in her with this album, because it goes from, she starts off with a hip hop vibe, then she goes into her R&B bag, and then she goes into a pop acoustic vibe, and I just love it. I love the diversity, I love the versatility, I love that she's not afraid to take a chance, because this was her sophomore album. You know, it could have went either way. So I just love that she puts her creativity first, and she takes a chance and she makes a stance for herself. And that's why she definitely deserves the number 1 spot on my top 10 albums of 2022. Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning in. But now I want to hear from you. What were some of your favorite albums of 2022? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.